Opening the door over Skydive, Chesapeake. Jumping in my home state of Maryland. Beautiful place. Alright, that'll do. There's green. Interesting, is like, I want to go to the right. No, I want to go to the left. Oh, that's funny. I like watching them open. It's kind of a cool view. So he's supposed to be working on rears. Right now he's just doing his housekeeping. Alright. So, you gonna play with your rears or what? Maybe not. Now he's getting on the rears. As am I. He needs to turn left back towards the drop zone. There, let's see if he stalls it. Let's see a stall. Almost. There's a stall. Yep. Oh, that's fun. So from the inside here, adding the rear, slowing it down, flutter, flutter. It's not quite stalled yet. When the pilot chute goes straight up, that's the stall. And you can dampen the forward surge by reapplying those rears. Oh, they got 4,500 feet. So, let's see how much altitude this loses in a 450. So coming up on 43. 2, 3, curving. Deepening and steepening. Riding deeper. Kind of a shallow one. Oh, it's about 1,000 feet. But I didn't really dig deep into it, did I? So it was kind of a smooth turn. If you don't get out from under the canopy, then it doesn't dive as much. There we go. Alright. God, it's pretty here. Chesapeake Bay over there. Rain's coming in, so I figured I'd get a jump in before tomorrow gets wet. Alright, I'm going to do a ground winds check. Looks like the windsock isn't doing much. Looking at glide ratio. Yeah, it looks like there's really not any wind to speak of. $1,900 feet. One last defog of the visor. And since there is just a touch of wind, I think I'm going to be crossing over the windsock at 12. A little bit late, so I'm tweaking on the rears a little. And I'm going to fly it down to 900 feet. I'm just like way over here, huh? There's my 900 foot mark just on the outside of the runway. 600. I'll bring it on here just a little early. Oh, she's way over there. All right, I changed my mind. I'm going to land a little bit closer to my intended target. That's fun.
Hello, I'm Brian Germain, and I would like to help you become a better and safer skydiver. There's a lot of information that needs to be assimilated, and going to the drop zone is but one way to get that information. As a matter of fact, it may not be the best way, depending on who's teaching you and how much time they have to dedicate to your training. You may or may not get all the information that you need in order to get through the experience safely and get through your ultimate graduation to become an A-licensed skydiver. And so as a jumper over, well, gosh, I don't know precisely how many jumps I've got, but it's over 15,000 and approximately 35 years of jumping out of planes. I've put together quite a bit of understanding, not the whole story, but quite a bit of understanding on the topic. And I realized quite a few years ago that if I just sat down and just sort of wrote it all out, starting with a book and then writing it out into seminar PowerPoints, and then traveling the world, teaching lots of classes, literally all over the planet, I realized that I could do a pretty good job of helping guide people through the course stuff and get over some hurdles, possibly avoid some accidents. And so what I introduce to you today is something I created called Parachute Flight Safety. It's a video series that is 8 hours long, and we tack on some extra materials on top of the existing 7 different programs, going from the very basic information about how parachutes fly, structure and function kind of topics, all the way up through more advanced accuracy concepts and navigational concepts, and the kind of stuff that you're going to need to know. And you'll get all this information, or almost all of it, if you hang it at the drop zone all the time for the next several months. But some of you haven't even gone to the drop zone yet, and you're just sort of thinking about it. And that's the perfect time to start, right here at home. You can start down this very long path of becoming a skydiver by studying, by learning. And this has not been done before, at least to my knowledge, where now we've got tests, and we've got loads of videos that fit in with those tests, and you take the test and you go, oh wow, I didn't get all those questions right. Fine. Gravity doesn't grade on a curve, so I need to know all of it, and there's a time code in each of these tests where you can go back and find out in the video, not just specifically what the answer was, but what you really need to know to be able to get kind of get that information deeply assimilated in your mind. Because things happen fast up there, and surprises do occur. The experiences that I've had have blown my mind. Where I thought for sure I kind of had an understanding of it, and then boom, there's something like, I didn't think of that one. Didn't know that could happen. So that's why I do what I do. All these hours that I've spent talking to video cameras and talking in live video conferences with folks all over the world, individuals, groups, sometimes very large groups. This information seems to be really helping people. And some of you are going to be enjoying this stuff as instructors. You're going to be learning from the material that I put together so that you can teach your students better. And I think that's great. That's one of my favorite aspects of teaching, is, as I say, teach the teacher stuff. And I've done that in many, many countries where they gather together all the instructors from that country, and I teach them how to teach parachute flight better, because that's really the hard part. There's lots of folks that will teach you how to fly your body in free fall. You just go to the wind tunnel, and there are amazing people who can really refine your skills in how to fly. But once the parachute's open, it gets complicated. And so that's where a guy like me comes in. All these years of designing and building parachutes and testing them out, many hundreds of different prototypes that I've built and tested and learned from. And so you're going to get the benefit of that information and of the empirical analysis of data that I've kind of drawn some conclusions that are different, that are distinct from what is normally taught, closer to the truth of what's actually happening, because I prefer to attack all this stuff from the perspective of science, of what is true, gleaned through actual tests, numbers, experiments, instruments, and separating out the confounding variables, so that we're not dealing in opinions, we're dealing in facts. So I hope that you take a close look at what we've got here in the Parachute Flight Safety video series on Adventure Wisdom. You can stream it, you can download it, you can even get a flash drive in the mail along with my book, which I think you'll find is very helpful as a companion to this program. It's called The Parachute and Its Pilot. People seem to really like it. On the 5th edition, I keep rewriting it and adding more material to it as I continue to add more videos to the Adventure Wisdom, the library that's going to help you become safer. I know that I can't help everybody avoid every hiccup in this sport, but with enough effort on your part, I think you'll be able to get through this in a way that is pretty smooth, that you're able to get over that initial hump where you've got the information deficit and you don't really know what to do in every scenario. But if you fortify yourself with information, skydiving is very doable. It's a very reasonable thing to do, and it is absolutely worth it. Best thing I've ever done. So join me, Parachute Flight Safety. I'll see you there.
As long as you're having fun.